I cannot blame them, after all. One doesn't need a telescopic sight to shoot boar and bear. So that when they came on me watching the terrace at a range of 550 yards, it was natural enough that they should jump to conclusions. And they behaved, I think, with discretion. I am not an anarchist or fanatic, and I don't look as if I took any interest in politics. I might perhaps have sat for an agricultural constituency in the south of England, but that hardly counts as politics. I carried a British passport, and if I had been caught walking up to the house instead of watching it, I should probably have been asked to lunch. It was a difficult problem for angry men to solve in the afternoon. They must have wondered whether I had been employed on, as it were, an official mission. But I think they turned that suspicion down. No government, least of all ours, encourages assassination. Or was I a freelance? That must have seemed very unlikely. As anyone can see, I'm not the type of avenging angel. Was I, then, innocent of any criminal intent? And exactly what I claimed to be, a sportsman who couldn't resist the temptation to stalk the impossible. After 2 or 3 hours of their questions, I could see I had them shaken. They didn't believe me. They were beginning to understand that a bored and wealthy Englishman who had hunted all common game might well find a perverse pleasure in hunting the biggest game on earth. But even if my explanation were true, and the hunt were purely formal, it made no difference. I couldn't be allowed to live. It was after 10 when I awoke. I lay in my fleece till noon, looking up through the oak leaves to a windy sky and trying to decide whether it were less risky to travel by day or night. I admitted to myself now where I was going. The road I meant to take was a narrow track along the downs, a remnant of the old Roman road from Dorchester to Exeter, only used by farmers' carts. My meeting with any human being in the darkness was most improbable. Even if I were not alone on the hills, I should hear before I was heard. The deep sandstone cutting, its hedges grown together across the top, is still there, and anyone who wishes can dive under the sentinel thorns at the entrance and push his way through and come out in a cross-hedge that runs across the foot of the hills. But who would wish? Where there is light, the nettles grow as high as a man's shoulder, and where there is not, the lane is choked by dead wood. The interior of the double hedge is of no conceivable use to the two farmers whose boundary fence it is, and nobody but an adventurous child would want to explore it.